Alrighty, guys, good morning. Welcome to episode 161 of the Michael Lab Show. We are here on a Tuesday morning, recording on a Monday afternoon. So this past weekend has been a busy one. Let's just start from the top. Let's start where everything kind of began to go downhill, I guess you could say, for a lack of better terms. So I went ahead, and I'm still in school, so let's just get that out of the way. And I have been in school for too long. And there was a class I was supposed to take. I did take, called International Business. It's a good class, fun class. I did really well in it, right? I did well in the class. I held an A pretty much the whole thing. Finished the semester off with a B, an 85, but not really. So what happened was there's a sheet of paper I used to put down all the dates of everything that I needed to turn in and everything, like from the final to projects to homework, all that important stuff for school, the things that get you to move on and you can graduate. I put the wrong date down for one of my finals, which therefore led me to miss the final, which was 1/5 of my grade for the class. So my 85 went to a 65. Emailed the professor. He put on the website basically saying there's no redos for this. So I embarrassingly didn't read. I irresponsibly did not read my email. And I asked him, hey man, can we reopen this just for a second, just so I can take the final? Which he emailed me back and he said, yeah, I'll do that for you. Only 50% though. The highest you can get to 50%, which would have if I got 100% on that final, which I think I would have, my grade would have went up to a 75 instead of an 85. Therefore, I would have passed the class. Therefore, I wouldn't have to retake it. So I go ahead and I do the responsible thing, and I convinced myself all summer that I don't have to retake the class. I don't have to retake the class. Basically, just afraid to know that I do have to retake the class. So what I ended up doing was I emailed my guidance counselor. I was like, hey, bud. Not hey, bud. Hey, doctor. Obitsky or something like that. It's a Russian last name, so I'm never going to get it. Basically, can we have a meeting? Can we sit down and talk about my mess ups? And we have a meeting. We sit down, we talk, and we basically try to set it up. So I have 2 semesters left. I have this fall, right? This is spring 2021. Then I have fall 2021, and I graduate. And in between that, I have 4 classes this semester, 4 classes last semester. So right now we're trying to, and I couldn't sign, so I got to retake the international business class, and I'm trying to sign up for it, but all the spots are filled, right? All the spots are filled in the class. So the only way to get into the class, and since it's online class, I don't think it's going to be that hard to get into the class. So if you guys see me constantly check my phone, it's because I'm just constantly checking the email to see if I was able to get force added to one of my classes. There's blood on my iPod case, AirPod case. So that's that. So it's kind of stressful because if I can't get force added to the class, I would have to take one of my classes from my final semester. So fall 2021. And I would have to add my international management class to that class. And then I would have to take my summer or my internship class, which is Business 406 at Towson, and add it to the summer, and then take my internship class during the summer, which isn't a big deal. I'm not too worried about the internship. So either way, I will be graduating this year, but it is kind of stressful. And I handle stress pretty well, but the one thing which I think is common for everybody, is the unknowing is the one thing that kind of gets me, and I kind of get nervous about not knowing what the next step is. And definitely right now, that's exactly where I am, because as I'm recording this, it's Monday. So, and it's 9:30. So classes start at 8, right? Classes start at 9, 9:30, whatever. Here on out, all day classes are going on. I could potentially be added to a class any second now. And I have a schedule set up with work, and I have a schedule already set up with school. And there's certain times I can't go to school. There's certain times because I'm working. So it's just kind of nerve-wracking to not know exactly when or will I be in a certain class at a certain time. But I just wanted to vent that somewhere, and I vented it here with you people, the people who listen and people who watch. So if I have a message for anybody who's out there and has, if you're an older adult and you have kids that are potentially going to school, or if, whatever, or if you're in school yourself, don't miss the final exam. It makes it very hard to pass the class. And also another tip that I would give, which is a fantastic tip, is when you drop out of school, make sure you drop out of school. Make sure you don't just stop going to school. Make sure you withdraw from the classes so you don't get that the zero, like the failing grade, because that will take a big bite out of your GPA. And that happened to me, so that's just another tip I want to give to you guys. But besides that, school starts this week. I have classes. I had classes yesterday, and I have classes pretty much every single day. Not pretty much, but I have classes every single day of the week, which is fantastic. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, and Tuesday. I don't know why I did it that way, backwards, but besides that, I feel like it was a pretty busy weekend, right? I haven't sat down and did a podcast for 6 days. The last time I sat down and did a podcast, so the last episode, the Thursday episode, was done that Tuesday. So this is my first podcast under the Biden administration. Can you tell? Can you tell that this is under the Biden administration? No, you can't. But yeah, it seemed like that went well, right? It seemed like the inauguration went well, went safe. Kind of a cool unifying speech, but I feel like it could have been more unifying. Things aren't going to change rapidly. This is the thing I worry about when it comes to like politicians, and when it comes to citizens' perceived notion of politicians. I put something on my story a few days back, basically saying that no politician's in it for you, right? So, and I think it's really important for people to realize that no politician is going to save you, and no politician actually represents what you believe. And there's always a lot of scheming going on behind the window or behind the door. Because you got to think like Amazon, Google, Apple, these huge companies, FedEx, whatever, UPS, all these companies pay these politicians for their branding, for the marketing. Same way that if you want to start a candle company, I have 3 candles, you use platforms like Instagram or Facebook, Twitter to market your product, right? So you can sell it. Now imagine it if you're running for president or if you're running for whatever the position is. Instead of you paying them, they pay you, because if you win a certain thing, they believe that their policies and the rules they make will benefit your company in the long run. So they just basically invest into politicians. And since us, the people, we don't invest in politicians, like financially, we just invest our time, but no money. Even if they do become whatever it is, president, senator, state council, whatever it is, what city council, mayor, whoever it is, there's always going to be a disconnect between, like, if you are the president, you're going to look at the people, right? The people is who got you in office, but who allowed you to reach the most amount of people were the companies that paid you, or that gave you free service for you to get into office. So it was a nice speech, but at the same time, there was a lot of, and I'm going to probably make a lot of people upset here, but that's fine. I don't really worry too much about people getting upset. At least the people, if I do make people upset, no one ever tells me. So I just assume that my opinions are very, across the board, like, okay, like not like they're not highly offensive. But not much is going to change. I really don't think so. I was having a pretty cool conversation with Taylor yesterday. We're talking about racism. We're talking about culture differences. We're talking about how the tensions in this country and how they relate to the rest of the world. And it was really fascinating because a lot of things happened during the inauguration, like everything from people standing and saluting and enjoying the national anthem, where just 8 months ago, the national anthem was considered to be a song of repression and racism. On that day, it wasn't. Right? Like, so basically what I'm trying to say is perceived notions constantly change. It's not about reality. It's about the perception of the event that's taking place, which is understandable. I totally get that. I understand how something can be exacerbated at certain times and not a big deal at other times. But it was really interesting, the Bible thing, to see. This is what really gets me. It's really confusing. So I've been watching The Crown lately on Netflix, and The Crown's interesting because it goes into the monarchy and the government of the UK, right? The UK has the monarchy, which is supposed to be the closest thing to, almost like the closest thing to a god-like figure. They're supposed to represent everything that's good about humanity, very proper, very not educated, but just very pure. And the state, the government, they don't call shots for that, right? The prime minister is the one who does all the governmental stuff. So it's almost like there's almost like a line going down between those two parties. Anyways, the monarchy and the state can't ever be the same thing, right? So when this country was founded, it was founded by people who defected from the monarchy, right? They wanted their own religion, but they didn't want the king. They thought the king had too much power, right? So they came here and they made sure that the state and religion didn't merge into each other, right? That's the whole point of there should be a difference between state and religion and faith. State and faith should never merge together, right? And I get it. It's a beautiful thing, but, and this is going to sound very anti-patriotic to a lot of people, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is anti-patriotic. I think the way that this country has kind of formed is we've intertwined religion and government into the same exact thing, right? Everything from when Donald Trump walked out during the riots and held up the Bible, everything to during the inauguration, there's a Bible that's being, the president of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States of America, are touching this Bible, right? This Bible basically showing that, yes, we will serve the government for the people. We were elected by the people. But at the same time, we're going to tether everything that we do to religion. And religion is one of those things that you can a lot of good comes from it. The commandments, right? Do one to others as you would do to yourself. But I also believe, and this is going to be a very hot subject, what I'm about to say right here. Let me just go ahead and check. Make sure I didn't get an email yet. Nothing yet. Very, very concerned about that, as you could imagine. But I also think that religion has been the pathway to a lot of wars. It's been the master hand that has separated people into groups, right? Religion has, a lot of religions look, the equality that they believe in is a quality that's written down in the sacred book, but it's not equality among humanity. Females just don't get that much support in most of the religions. Everything from Christianity to obviously is Islam. people of different races, right, break down culturally. They break down, they separate. If you are if your religion makes up multiple gods, so polytheistic religion, you probably get viewed differently than from a monotheistic religion. And it's really it's dark to say this, but I think until we can manage, Friedrich Nietzsche said something one time. He said, God is dead, right? This idea that God is dead, that in this country, we are always looking for reasons, right? We look for scientific reasons to explain all the unknowing. And by doing that, I think you create a depressed feeling in the country, in the world, because it's impossible to know everything. And if something's not known, I don't think the healthy way is to say, well, we don't know. I think the healthy way, I don't know. I'm thinking from like a humanity standpoint, from what a biological human is able to deal with without completely losing their mind. To say something exists outside of us, right? And it doesn't always need an answer. God is dead. We don't believe that anymore, right? But we still do. We still do. We still intertwine God, religion, in our government. Decisions are still based off of under God. You know what I mean? All men are created equal, and I think there's a lot of hypocrisy. I think there's a lot of hypocrites in the world of government when it comes to religion, because I think if you want equality, if you want perceived equality, you have to do away with the religion aspect of it, because religion will separate us as human beings. Biology won't separate us as human beings, because under the world of biology, you can even call that a religion in some cases. You cannot say that a human is different from another human based off what their mind makes up in their head to describe things that they don't understand. You cannot say that they're different because of the level of melatonin they have, or melatonin they have in their skin, right? You can't separate people by their size, because in biology, all of us are just a few chromosomes with different genes, and different genes have interacted in a certain way to create different types of people. So I was just watching that, and that's what caught me off guard the most. Is it seems so prehistoric, and I don't know if there's another way to do it, because every country in this whole world is based off of some type of religious view. I think even places that have dismantled religion have made leaders the god. I think places like North Korea, their god is Kim Jong-un. Places like Russia. I mean, I don't know the official faith of Russia, but I'm assuming it might be like Christianity or Catholicism, religion, Russia. Russian Orthodoxy. Religion in Russia is diverse with Christianity, especially Russian Orthodoxy. It has its own religion. Yeah, so 53%, this is as of 2005, 53% is Russian Orthodox, non-religious, other. Oh, so they do have a lot of, that's always fascinating to me. Religion. It's very interesting to see these countries that have been through the most hell have a large population that is non-religious. That's a lot of people who are atheists. What else does it say? It says Jewish, very, very small percent. They were all killed. Oh wait, no. Non-religious or other. Okay, so that's different. Atheists only makes up, where is it? Where did I see that? Is that the one I saw? Yeah, atheists only makes up 5%. So I wonder what the non-religious other means. I guess like minor religions. Fascinating. Maybe like Buddhism and stuff. I don't know. But it seems like religion has to not be dismantled because it provides us with a lot of stability. But it seems like equality can never be reached on the backs of religion. I don't know. Because I think at the base of it, it separates us into people. Because it separates us into people who've done well and can go to heaven, and those who have not done well and can't go to heaven. And the judgment of those people falls among other people. So since there's already a judgment, then those people judging are now higher on the hierarchy, right? I don't know. It's fascinating. This looks why Americans are more religious than Europeans. I don't know what chart that is, so I'm not going to start. What is Reston? I gotta look that up. Restorranist. Restaurant? No, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna find it. Restoranianist. The Restorianism. One who believes in a temporary future punishment and a final restoration of all to the favor and presence of God. One who makes restorations of buildings. That's not what I wanted. What is a truest form of Christianity? According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Catholic ecclesiology professes the Catholic Church to be the sole Church of Christ, the one true church defined as one holy Catholic and apostolic in the four markets of the church. I don't care. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I've been thinking more and more about religion lately, and I don't know if that can be the future. Like, I don't know how much longer we can play this game. But I think at the same time, we need this game because this game saves people from just straight up nihilism. But at the same time, nihilism seems like in the world of science, the most scientific and logical thing to believe in, that life has no meaning. Right? I don't know. But then you see animals who act in certain ways that they elephants, they show that they care about their loved ones dying. Like there's that story of that Chinese, or not the Chinese dog, but a dog in Asia who walked every day to his owner's deathbed. I don't know. Is that strictly off of because that's the person who fed me and the smell of him is over there and I'm expecting him to get out of there every day to feed me because as a dog, I can't process what death is? Or do we personify that dog as that dog knows exactly what death is and that's what he's doing? I don't know. I don't know the answer. But it just felt like the Bible thing just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't jive with me. I don't think it jives with anybody anymore. I think we just kind of let it be, right? I think we kind of just let it be. And you can't, I mean, imagine if you started, like, you can't restrict people's beliefs, right? That's some Hitler shit. Like, you can't do that. I don't know. But shout out to Bernie. That was hilarious. The poor Bernie Sanders. That dude is just a dude, and they always screw him over, right? Every time he tries to run for president, they always outcast him as like this crazy person, and he became a meme. The dude just became the biggest meme of all time, and it's actually kind of hilarious. It's probably the best thing that came out of the inauguration. And I'm not like, and when I say that, I don't mean like I hate Biden. I hope the best for him. I'm not somebody who like hope he burns in hell and he doesn't do well. No, I want him to unify the country. I want him to do the best he could possibly do for this country. I don't care about Trump. I never cared about Trump. I don't care about who the president is. I just want the person who has a job, can bring people together the best and progress us to what this country needs the most, not what is in their best interest and is in the best interest of the super PACs, like these Amazons and these. And I look at me. I'm wearing a shirt literally from the guy who owns this is like one of the biggest capitalists in the whole entire world. Like Elon Musk owns SpaceX. This company is going to literally IPO at the highest price of all time. I support it, man. I support it. It's almost like capitalism is the only way out of it, right? I was watching these videos of these robots, these Boston Dynamic robots. Boston Dynamics is a robot company, and they show these robots just dancing, right? Like I'm like ballerina, like doing gymnastics, like this little dog looking thing with like this long neck with this like little mouth, just like straight up dancing, moving around, shaking its butt. Like, it's wild to think about, and it's almost like that doesn't seem like you can stop it at any time, right? That doesn't seem like there's a pullback. Like, if the market is raging and it's making everyone a lot of money, you expect a pullback eventually, right? Because it's controlled by humans, and humans eventually will panic once they see it slip a little bit. The market will go back down because, like, right now, it's the biggest bull. It's one of the it's a huge bull market. It's killing it. Like, I'm up like 20%. So many people are up a lot of money right now, and we know it's going to go down, right? Because it's run by humans, and humans panic, and when humans panic, they hide, and when they hide, in the market, what that means is they sell their stocks to take the money, cash out, and roll out. That's one of the reasons why you shouldn't sell. That's one of the reasons why I won't sell my stocks, because when it sells, I'll buy more, and then when people feel comfortable to buy back in because they look like it's going back up, they'll buy again, and it'll go higher, and it'll eclipse what it was before. Anyways, I digress again. But robots don't play that game, right? It's like once you let the genie out of the bottle, like, I don't know, like I'm literally watching these robots dance and jump around and do cartwheels, do backflips, and like this dog. There's this crazy one, and I didn't see it on the Instagram page. You could probably look it up on YouTube. The human-looking robot walks up to the door, grabs the door, pulls the door open, and then the dog robot walks through the door. Like, he literally opened the door for the robot. And it just makes you, for me, it made me like kind of scared. I was like, oh my God, that's not supposed to happen. That's insane. Like, that's not how it's supposed to work. All I saw was what's his face? Vladimir Putin just strapping one of those things up with like bombs and grenades and just going to war with Uzbekistan again, or the Ukraine, and just blowing them up, or like Kim Jong-un just like launching them across the ocean and stuff. And it's really weird. It's like the days of hand-to-hand combat is pretty much over at this point. Like, it seems like why would you go to war anymore? Seems crazy. Hand-to-hand combat seems ancient at this point. But shout out to Bernie, man. That dude made a big splash. He should, if he could run immediately right after that, he would have won. Like, if let's say Joe Biden ran for president, whatever, he won, and let's just say you could get that much attention on Bernie Sanders, like on a like, let's say we could elect a new president right now, Bernie would win, man. I mean, that man was everywhere. He took the win right out of the sails of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? He just took it right out. It was everywhere. The funniest ones were like the ones where like he had the UFC fighter like in a chokehold and stuff. It was good. It was good. Shout out to Bernie, always giving us the most love. He's just sitting there like, you bastards, you guys are the reason why I can't run. Like, it's so funny to think, because this guy was like all about UBI, right? Universal basic, or that was more energy gang. But Bernie believed in free college for people, helping, forgiving debt for colleges and stuff, giving people more money if you're unemployed or whatever. And just 4 years ago, we were like, that's crazy. We would never do something like that. What are you talking about, Bernie? That's crazy. We don't have money like that. I know it's a different circumstance, but now he looks like the smartest dude in the world, if people remember that it was his idea first, but no one will. And like, people were freaked out. Oh, it's a socialist idea, blah, 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 blah. Cool. I get it. Awesome. Also not true. But second of all, it's kind of saving this nation. This idea of socialism is kind of saving the nation. If you think about unemployment checks going out to people, you know how many people would be completely broke, And I think there's a lot of people right now sitting on a lot of cash right now. That's why I'm super confident about the economic boom just happening soon. And I'm very confident about the vaccines. I know so many people in my life that are vaccinated, and, just a matter of time before we're all just jumping around in the oceans again and spreading. Dude, STDs are probably at all-time low. I'm gonna look it up. STD rate in 2020. Probably like so low, man. STD data and statistics from the CDC. What the? Give me the STDs. I want the STDs. Sexually transmitted diseases. I want a chart. Data and statistics. Published July 2020. Published January 2020. No, I don't want syphilis. What the? Where is it? Updated syphilis cases. See the archive. No, I want to see if STDs are at an all-time low right now because people are not. Wow, continued rise. Oh, that's 2019. How crazy. Ooh, that looked like a good one. National Snapchats. That looks fun. As target, what is this? Sexually active females on Medicaid. Okay, what? I'm not going to find genital chlamydia. The clap. Anyways, I digress. There's a lot of things I want to actually get into. Well, not really because time's almost up. But I found your podcast while searching. I've been searching through a ton of podcasts to find host and just came across your show. Wanted to reach out and invite you to join. Blah, 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 blah. Pod match. Reading this out loud. For free, Pod match automatic matches ideal podcast guest host for interviews. Even if you're not looking for guests, you can sign up to be a guest. I'm going to look this up and make sure so you guys, I get these all the time. I'm going to make sure this isn't a fake one. Also, AI matching for podcast. That sounds a little weird. I don't know about all that, buddy. I don't want random people to be part of my thing. I want to actually talk to people that I care about, man. Steve Anderson. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to mess around with all that stuff. What else is going on? These poor people. Searches record high. Dude, the market's up crazy. So this is another thing. If you guys are into the market right now, you're going to be making a lot of money because Apple and all these companies are reporting the earnings this week. I mean, everybody's reporting the earnings, and they're going to go through the roof. My opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I would put money on it that they're all going to go through the roof. Anyways, the UFC fight. Did you guys see that? Dustin Poirier just knocked the hell out of Conor McGregor. Cool fight. Also, Conor McGregor, like, I think once you make a certain amount of money, it's hard to get it's easier to get your face punched in when you're working to make money, right? To get, like, concussed and break yourself on a day in and day out when you have something to really, to work for, like the money. Like, you need the money to feed your family. But once you become worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars like Conor McGregor is, it makes the punching in the face seem a little bit more crazy, which makes you probably not want to do it as much. My opinion, I don't know. I think that, to me, that makes a lot of sense. And you got a guy like Dustin Poirier who's a straight up killer, and he's still grinding. Like, he's still trying to become the champ, and he could become the champ if he beats Khabib. Who knows? If Khabib even fights again. But this is also not a UFC podcast. I'm the most uneducated person when it comes to the UFC. I promise you guys, I'm not ignoring this podcast. It's the school thing, man. I'm worried about that. I really want to get into it. Knock it out. But the Packers lost. You guys know I'm a Packers fan. I don't think there's anything around me that would tell you guys that, but maybe, this thing right here is a Lambeau little helmet signed by a bunch of Packers back in like the 2000s. With some students back on campus, Towson University looks ahead to a more vibrant spring term. They lost, obviously. I don't know. There's like a lot of controversy about like the last play. Should they have not kicked the field goal? Should they let Aaron Rodgers go for it on fourth down? And at the end of the day, we're the ones we're not in the game. Maybe they should have, maybe they shouldn't. I think also maybe they shouldn't. Maybe Kevin King shouldn't have, held that guy. There's a lot of maybes, and maybe that dude should have, St. Brown should have called the extra 2-point conversion, so we could have been tied up with that field goal. Maybe Aaron Rodgers shouldn't have thrown the interception. There's just so many like maybes, and like that Monday morning armchair podcast like host kind of critic. It's just I don't know. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and I love Aaron Rodgers, and he's probably going to go down in history as one of the best Packers players, at least statistically, probably the best Packers player of all time, but not when it comes, maybe Super Bowls too, I don't know, but Tom Brady he's the GOAT. Like, Tom Brady is the best football player ever to play the game, and besides Tiger Woods, which I do want to watch the documentary, besides Tiger Woods, maybe Michael Jordan, I think he's the greatest. I don't know anybody who dominates a sport as much as he did. Or does. Like 10 Super Bowl appearances is out of this world. That's crazy. I think they showed a stat like 15 championship games in 21 years. 21 years. That's insane. It pretty much, like, and if you could take his years, he's 15-6, making it to 15-6, 15 wins, or 15-6 is the record he has of just getting to the championship game. And he's been to the Super Bowl 10 times. So, he's by far the GOAT. So, like, when the Packers lose, like, trust me, like, at the same time, I wish we would have won, but Tom Brady's better. He's a better football player than Aaron Rodgers. The team may not be better, who knows, but, like, you just can't argue with greatness. I mean, LeBron James gives him a shout out, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I think he's probably the most dominant player in his sport. Serena Williams is up there. Michael Jordan is, but the thing is, Michael Jordan has LeBron James, like Tiger Woods has, like, not Phil Mickelson, but that other, best golfers of all time. Yeah, Jack Nicklaus. He is Jack Nicklaus. Serena Williams, I don't know who she has. Michael Jordan has LeBron James. Tom Brady, who does he have? Like, NFL player with the most Super Bowls. Who has the most championship winning teams in NFL history? Quarterback Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, the most of any player in history. Pass rusher Charles Haley has 5 Super Bowls, for the second most. Yeah. And he's about to have 7. And it also, at the same time, because I don't know, Patrick Mahomes is dangerous. That dude's dangerous. I didn't think he was going to play, honestly, because of the concussion. But, I was talking to somebody, and I was very, if he plays, then there's some sketchy stuff that went on behind the scenes. But the more and more I think about it, what can you do for a concussion, though? That's the thing, is I don't know. You can't, like, give him medicine. There's nothing you can do, It's a concussion. Like, the worst part of a concussion is the concussion itself, and you can't really recover from it. You never really recover from it. It's always there. So I think the best thing for him to do was to play, I guess. I don't know. If he's willing to do it, then, because he can't break it more, and he's going to get a concussion. He probably got a concussion yesterday. But, like, I don't even know. I didn't really watch the game at all. I've been watching a lot of the Crown. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City won 38-24, so they won by 2 touchdowns. Like, Patrick Mahomes is he's a killer, man. He's a different species of human being. He's incredible. Patrick Mahomes II. He also seems like a good guy, too. And he's 25. That's insane. He's so young. He's so young. So, we'll see. I mean, Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady. The greatest football player of all time, competing against potentially the best quarterback. Potentially could become the best football player of all time. I mean, what he can do is he's been doing it for 2 years. Like, he's been doing it for so long. I don't know, man. He's fun to watch. I love watching him. But I think this is who was supposed to. This is what the Super Bowl was supposed to be. It was supposed to be those two, right? It was supposed to be, the young, the young superstar against the veteran. And we'll see. I mean, that's in 2 weeks, so I don't know. But I do have to go ahead and get going on this episode. I got school. I got to go run too. I haven't ran in 2 days. I ran 14 point. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys this. I got to tell you this. So I'm such a dummy. I'm such a dummy. I want to send this. But I'm so dumb. So on, I think it was Friday, I went ahead and ran, and I wanted to run 20 miles, but then I got really cold and I was like, I don't feel like doing it. I get bored running. I almost need like a partner. I get bored running, right? It's boring. And where I run, it's the city. It's Annapolis. It's Eastport. So I got to be constantly on alert all the time, so I don't get killed by a car or whatever, hit by a car. So I ran 14.7 miles, so about 15 miles. And I think I did 2 hours and 7 minutes. I think I was running an 8:30 mile, so it's pretty good. Because I want to do a marathon by the end of the year, and I think I can do it. Like, it's gonna be hard, but I definitely think I can do it. If I get down to like 180, I'm pretty confident I can run a sub. I want to run a sub 4 marathon, which is considered pretty good. I think I'm gonna make it a lifelong goal to get a sub 3 hour marathon, but that's like a 6:50 pace, like sub 3 hour marathon. A 3 hour marathon is about 6:50. To break 3, you should eventually be capable of a 1.5 hour. So I should be running at least 35 to 40 miles a week. Not that hard. So a 6:30 half marathon pace. So it would be very difficult. How good is this? How many weeks is a sub 4 marathon good? Oh yeah. Anyways, got a massive headache, dude. Jesus Christ. Got a freaking headache. And potentially take her to the vet first to get them. I will check it all out and grab it for you. Did you come back? Yeah, so my dumbass comes home, and after running 14.7 miles, I'm starving, right? So I eat. I'm on carnivore. Obviously, this past weekend I wasn't on carnivore, but I'm on carnivore normally. Like normally I'm on carnivore, and I ate so much food. I ate probably like 2 pounds of beef, and then on top of that, I went ahead and drank about a half gallon of Crystal Light, and then for the next hour, I just spent it on my knees over the toilet, just barfing, just straight up barfing, nonstop for a whole hour straight. It was miserable. I learned my lesson. I probably will do it again, but hopefully not as bad. But I got to get going, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. I got to go ahead and get class started and finish up a few other things. I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Michael Labs Show, episode 161. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Micro Labs. Micro Labs on Instagram, YouTube. Do all your things. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with one friend. One friend each time doubles the amount of listeners. I think that's terrible math. Love you guys. Peace out. See ya.